Matt, you got a cold open for us today? Anything on your mind?
I mean, yeah, but I don't know how long you want to go, you know?
Why?
What's something happened with my guy at Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
Because I go to the same Dunkin' Donuts every single day.
Yeah.
And I've been doing same Dunkin' Donuts every single day for like over a year. And I accidentally handed the guy the other day like extra money.
Okay.
And he goes, "Oh, I think you gave me too much money. Just like $1 or $2 extra." And I go, "Oh, sorry." And I like extended my hand out. Like I didn't even realize what was happening though, where I could have just gave him like $1 or $2 tip. And he like handed the money back to me, and I didn't even realize till like after. And I drove off. I go, "Wow, what a jerk!"
That's happened to me though before with like something like that. You don't think of it in the moment.
Well, I'm very upset because it's like the same guy all the time. Like they're very good to me there. They know my order. It's Matt. Can I get my regular? They go, "Yep."
Next time you go in, tip them.
Yeah,
that's all you gotta do.
Just make up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't
make
feel
love, not war.
I didn't feel too. I'm a lover, not a
Make
fighter.
podcasts.
Yeah.
But so I was.
That's a horrible thing to do.
Oh, I felt terrible about it.
No, I've
ruined
definitely
my
done
coffee.
that before by accident.
Listen to him. It ruined my coffee.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about that guy's day. It's all about Matt and his coffee.
It ruined.
Selfish.
Yeah.
That's horrible, dude.
Well, I didn't realize until like because I'm not even thinking. I'm just
Clearly.
So
Yeah, early in the morning, I'll give you a pass.
Brain's foggy.
Yeah.
That's what the
Who's
coffee's
that
It's
for?
for.
quarter till the eagle screams, this kid. You know what I
it was
mean?
after blank.
Well, welcome to the Movie Mob Podcast. This is episode 7. I'm your host, RJ. We're joined here as always by Matt,
What's going
good
on?
friend of mine. You know,
Yeah.
and then Mike Brauninger is back because we're
Shut up,
talking.
Braun.
We're talking Obi-Wan today. We don't have any news topics today. I scoured the internet. I couldn't find anything interesting. A lot of Barbie set photos. We already talked about Barbie.
Oh my God! How
you see
many
'em?
photos? They're everywhere.
I know, it's like they're showing the whole movie
I
on the
think,
internet.
What would they do? Miami? They were shooting in or something?
I think,
or
yeah,
Venice,
or
maybe
Venice Beach.
Venice Beach, something like
Yeah.
that, right? Something with palm trees, and they're just rollerblading everywhere in public.
Yeah. With Will Ferrell's in it. I didn't know he was in it.
Well,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
if you don't know, now you do.
You know, don't finish that sentence. So here we are. Obi-Wan Kenobi finished last week.
It's a cool graphic.
That is a cool graphic, Matt. I picked that up off Google Images.
You're pretty good with picking the pictures.
Thank you. They had some good
Yeah, well,
posters.
they don't just show up there. You know what I mean?
Okay,
They
yeah.
just pick
He
'em.
put
Like
'em.
I got to put them
Oh,
together.
all right.
I upload
It's
them.
a team effort.
Yeah, it is. That's right.
Yeah. Except me, I don't do anything.
Yeah.
I just come.
Just show up.
Show up. I look good. What are you gonna do? I go home.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi, the 6-episode series, came to a finale last Wednesday. We didn't have a chance to talk about it last week because we hadn't watched it yet. So, let's hit it off. Just general thoughts first. Like, did you like the series or not, Braun?
I thought
Overall.
the series, it had its ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
There were some moments I feel were clunky. I remember also reading through, it seemed like there were some continuity errors throughout the series. Like,
Okay.
I remember there was something, I personally don't remember this, but online I saw something about how at one point Obi-Wan was soaked in one scene. He got completely drenched. It might have been when he
like
was
the
holding...
Inquisitor episode?
Yeah, when he was holding the water back or something. And then one scene later, his robes were completely dry. So just some lack of foresight
some
in
production stuff.
directing.
Yeah.
There were some issues there. I also think, it was... there were other issues. But I would say in this series, we got some of the best Star Wars I feel we've seen in a long time.
Okay.
Just some of the moments just between Hayden and you and Anakin and Obi-Wan, the battles, just
Yeah.
I really enjoyed a lot of what we saw.
So
there.
you'd say majority of it you enjoyed.
I would say I enjoyed the majority of it. The series as a whole, I would say, did justice for the characters.
Okay.
And I'm gonna look back upon this overall with fondness.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get deeper in a minute. Matt, overall thoughts.
Do you want to do the positive stuff before I rip it?
Well, just like overall, like, did you like more? Did you like less? Like, what's the
Honestly,
percentage?
if
here?
I can give you one word to describe this show, underwhelming.
Okay.
You talk about with all the potential, dropping the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? I mean, you got Obi-Wan. Look at him. Ewan
He
McGregor.
looks
You're
great.
bringing back Ewan. He's a legend. All the Star Wars fans, everyone wanted the show. Everyone's been hyping up the show for years. And I agree with Braun. It wasn't terrible.
Right.
It didn't suck. Like, I wasn't watching it go, like, forcing myself to get through it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's like peanut butter crackers, dude. Like, it's fine, all right,
It gets the job
like,
done.
I'm hungry, it fills a need, but can't wait to go eat peanut butter crackers. But it also doesn't suck. Like, I don't
Right.
eat it and go, that's,
Some
yuck.
would say being mediocre is worse.
Some would say.
Yeah. I agree with both you to a degree. I agree with you in terms of, to me, it could have been way better.
I would also agree
It was
with
not
that.
great. There was
Yeah.
potential here for a really great story, some great moments, and I feel like they didn't hit at that maximum level.
I don't think it was consistently awesome.
No, but I do agree with you, Braun, that there are a lot of great moments, but I feel like that's Disney Star Wars for the most part, is there's great moments, but there's never that, like, full thing that's coming together and it's like, wow, this is great. This is really good. I think Rogue One, everyone, that was probably the closest thing we've gotten
I would agree.
to everyone kind of being happy about it.
The third act of Rogue One was spectacular.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. I mean, so why don't we start with positive thoughts?
Oh, all right.
Let's start with the finale for now. Just in this, I think, this is probably my favorite episode, I would say.
I would agree.
Braun, obviously, we got the rematch between Vader and Obi-Wan here. A much better fight, in my opinion. I still have issues about the music. I think they should use some of the more familiar themes
The
and
traditional.
stuff. But overall, what'd you think of this rematch? Was it worthwhile? Did it do it for you?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Regardless of the other things that we've seen, I would say the fight, it felt like it hit home for me. Just seeing, the original, Vader, he beats Obi-Wan, says that's why you will always lose. Obi-Wan goes down under the rocks, and he's sitting there. All the memories come flooding back to him. It fuels him. He shoves it off, and then he comes back at Vader with his full... I think Obi-Wan probably at his fullest potential.
Yeah.
What we see right there. He's reconnected with the Force, and he gives Vader everything he has, and he's able to defeat him for the second time now.
Right.
And I think the duel itself, I think it was an enjoyable fight to watch, I would say. And I would say the moments we got afterwards were
Yes, yeah.
specifically what hit home for me.
Mm-hmm.
When we got to see Anakin under the mask,
Right.
and you see Ewan looking at him. You can also see one thing I noticed specifically was Anakin's eyes.
Yeah.
How they were changing colors
With
from
the color, the reflection of the lightsaber.
that was
Yeah.
also a nice director's touch. How you saw the blue reflection of Obi-Wan's lightsaber, and then it fades to the red of Darth Vader's. And so Anakin, or Darth Vader, he says, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did."
Right.
He says that. However, I still think that there's most definitely conflict within Darth Vader / Anakin
I think
in
so,
that
yeah.
moment. First of all, because of the eye color change that I noticed.
I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at
It's I think at the beginning his eyes are like more like the Anakin or
that. And then what do they shift
the
to
Anakin
yellow?
blue, and then they shift to the yellow.
Oh, interesting.
And I think the shading of the lightsaber colors also reflects the conflict within
Right.
him. I would also say I think there's conflict just due to the fact that Darth Vader loses this fight. Because
He's
I
gonna
think
be rattled.
I
Yeah.
think Darth Vader, at his full potential, if he's fully tapped into the dark side and he has no conflict,
Mm-hmm.
I think he would beat a full force Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Right.
just due to the potential that we've all seen Darth Vader and what he's capable of,
Yep.
and he is the chosen one. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think in a lot of ways, like you were saying, Vader is, I think, undoubtedly more powerful than Obi-Wan,
Right.
as they've shown in the series. But I think what you're saying, that conflict and the emotion that's involved,
Right.
is what makes him lose every time.
I think so I think so long as that conflict's there, he's never
He
going
can't
to
defeat Obi-Wan.
fight to his full potential, and Obi-Wan
And he never
is going
defeats
to take
him
the cake.
in general because in New
Obi-Wan
Hope,
gives himself
Obi-Wan
to the
surrenders.
Force.
So
Exactly.
Yeah, before I get to you, Matt, I would say that your point about overall, I think this fight choreography wise and just what goes on, and I think it's definitely the best lightsaber duel of the new Disney stuff. I feel like the lightsaber duels, we haven't gotten many, and I feel like not. The Force Awakens one to me was very clunky. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it felt.
This to me felt like a good balance of the original trilogy and the prequels.
I like the touches also during the fight scene too. I rewatched the fight so
Yeah.
many times, and there's a brief interaction between where they're combating each other, and then there's a pause in the fighting, and you can see Darth Vader readjust his grip on the lightsaber.
He puts two hands on it.
He puts
yeah.
two hands on it, and he goes. He does a little motion with his fingers, re-grasping the hilt. And I think when we saw Vader fighting the third sister in the 5th episode, right? He did not give a single shit.
He was
about
playing
what
around.
He was playing
yeah.
around. He didn't take his lightsaber out, right? He was
No.
just using the Force.
I mean, he was playing around when he fought
playing
Obi-Wan
around
the first time.
And yeah, when he fought Obi-Wan the first time, I mean, throws him in the coals, drags him. He knows Obi-Wan he's not connected with the Force, and he doesn't care.
Right.
But in this 6th episode, you can see Darth Vader knows full well what he's going up against. He knows Obi-Wan. He knows what Obi-Wan is capable of. And I thought that the show did a nice touch of showing that just through the little details like that, his stance and how he adjusted his fighting. I also thought, towards the beginning there was some brief. I know Darth Vader's heavily restricted in his suit, but it seemed like he was perhaps
moving.
a little bit
He was
more
moving good.
acrobatic. Similar to what we might see of the old Anakin in the fight, in any of his fights, but specifically in his fight with Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And yeah, just seeing all that, I thought I was a big fan of the fight. It really hit home for me.
Yeah. Matt, what did you think?
Of
Just the fight in general.
No, it was a solid fight. I thought it was a good fight. Yeah. I thought the coolest moment was when, like you said, his helmet came off.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that kind of hit home for Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit, like there's like Anakin, like, my brother.
Ewan, I mean.
No, he was great.
He's great.
And I feel like that kind of like when Ewan like that, like, oh, I can't like destroy him, like that's Anakin. Like I feel like that moment, like that hit home for me too. Like when Obi-Wan was feeling that, like I was feeling that too.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the best moment of the fight.
Here's my issue though. Twice now, Obi-Wan has said, "I will do what I must." He doesn't do anything. He doesn't
true.
kill him twice.
This is true.
Oh, jeez.
He's a good guy,
He doesn't. I mean, you could argue that the entire original trilogy is his fault. He had 2 times
To
he could have
kill
killed
him.
Vader.
Yeah.
So to me, the first one's different because he's about to burn alive. So you're like, I'm assuming he's
gonna die.
From his mind, Anakin dies. Here, I don't know because to me, he was going for the kill this entire fight.
The Obi-Wan was going
he
for
was like full aggression. You don't
Yeah.
really see Obi-Wan going off.
That's
like
true.
that.
Obi-Wan took
was
the offensive
breaking
this
his,
fight.
the whole suit.
I think he was until we saw the face,
Anakin.
and he was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was kind of
He
like
couldn't
They
get
gotta send
himself.
someone else. They gotta get Yoda out of Dagobah and just be like, finish this.
that was good.
Those, you
How you
I
doing?
like that.
Oh, buddy, I got them all. I got the.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I like that.
And then I got these too. I don't know if these are any good.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah,
That's
I got
great.
those.
Movie
And
mob.
in favor of Star Wars, I got a couple of. Oh, how are we?
Wow.
Yep, those are good. Those are good.
Phenomenal.
We got a gunshot. I'm sorry, I'm having a little fun back here.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the series. Disney ain't getting any of my dollars. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I like the sound effects.
They are good. They're
Yeah.
good.
I like the party one. Movie mob. Boom.
Yeah.
yeah. And I got these. So I got. These are good.
So-
I got what else do I got? I got a. Hey.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, those will be good. Those will be
So
that's a good. I like that.
actually, RJ, I have a question.
good. Poor
so-
Mike Brauninger hates the headphones. He's gonna kill me at the end of this.
Oh no!
I like this.
So I'm curious. Do you think when Obi-Wan he slashes the half of the helmet off?
Yeah.
Do you think that was? Do you think he was going for the kill there, or do you think it was just? What do you think? Do you think it was just he perfectly only his reach was only so far that it coincidentally only got the helmet.
I think it was coincidentally.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't necessarily if he was trying to chop his head off, but I think he was trying
You
to.
think he was
just
trying to
finish
kill him
off,
there?
like just break him down.
Does it chop the face off?
Yeah.
So that would be Return of the Jedi called like a foreshadowing thing, right? For when Luke goes in and sees himself.
Also,
and the scar at the top of his head
Mhm.
in Return of the Jedi, they kind of like showed how that happened.
Right.
Now,
That's probably like Disney saying,
I
"Look,
thought-
we care
Yeah.
about the old movies too."
I thought something that I found online that I thought was interesting. I don't know if you guys have seen Rebels, Star Wars Rebels.
Well, it was literally play by play the Ahsoka battle.
It was so Ahsoka took off one side of his helmet.
Yep.
Obi-Wan took off the other side.
Yeah.
And only Luke could get the full helmet off.
I like that. I didn't think of that.
I
Yeah.
saw that online and I thought that was very
That is I didn't know
poetic.
that. Yeah.
Because those are the people in his life that mean the most to him.
Right.
Ahsoka, his Padawan, Obi-Wan, his mentor and his best friend.
Yep.
And then
those
Luke.
are the three people.
It's a
Other
big
than
three.
Padme.
Other than Padme.
Yeah.
The three people that mean the most to him. And I think, Obi-Wan didn't kill him, but I think what he said at the end, then my friend is truly dead.
Yeah.
I think that definitely hit home, and I think Anakin thought about that in Revenge of the Sith. I mean, not Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi, because Luke says almost the same thing. Then my father is truly dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
So you think about that.
A little callback.
I think when Luke says this, I'm sure now Darth Vader must have been thinking back on what Obi-Wan said in that moment, and I'm sure the line hits home more.
Yeah.
And he, it's his son now, so I think
I think this series did a pretty good job about like kind of what's the word? Like connecting the lines that you see in the original trilogy and giving them a little more meaning, like when he says goodbye Darth.
Yep.
Because that's how Obi-Wan calls him Darth in A New Hope. He
That's
doesn't
true.
call him Anakin anymore. So I think like little things like that, they did a good job. I think my biggest issue with this series overall is that there was never really a moment where I felt like Obi-Wan was trying to turn him back to the light.
Right.
I thought that's what this series was going to be like. Obi-Wan was going to realize that he was alive, and he was going to be like, I got to try one more time.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Obi-Wan, like I said, looked like he was there to just kill him,
Right.
which he didn't end up doing again. So I would have loved for a moment of like Obi-Wan saying like, there's still a chance for you to come back. Like we could defeat the Emperor together.
Right.
Almost reversing the role of Vader to Luke. Like we'll destroy and take over the galaxy type thing.
You like
and like
that?
even referencing Padme too.
Right.
Like Padme was not referenced. Like you thought like he would have said to him maybe like, Padme while she was dying thought there was still good in you. Like something to that
They never reference Padme.
They don't.
I like Padme.
A little bit in this episode, but they don't reference her by name.
Queen Amidala of the Naboo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's the
the
whole
little red,
the-
the little red number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
But the whole reason Anakin goes
She's looking
to
nice.
the dark side is because of Padme.
Right.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? She's the crux of it all. So you would think that
Well, in the prequel, she's so involved.
I have a
Right.
feeling. Do you think it's because my reasoning I think is, or why I can rationalize it is probably because Obi-Wan thinks there's no hope for him.
Right.
A
Just
because
gonna say-
Padme's dead,
What is the
and what he's done too.
in that world? And I can't speak on the details. Like I love Star Wars, but I can't
Yeah.
watch it on mute like you. You know what I mean? So like, what's the worst possible thing to happen to a Jedi? Besides, like death isn't the worst.
Turn
They could
to the
become a
dark
Force
side.
ghost.
to fall.
It's the worst possible thing, and
Right.
and their entire existence and training and everything revolves around the light side and all of this other stuff. I don't necessarily feel like Obi-Wan's a bad guy for this, but I definitely would say that I feel like he kind of gave up on Anakin
Right.
because if you're going to even accept that, if you're going to accept that as a I mean, we're Catholic, right? I don't know how like religious you are or not, but there's like certain things that like you can't just go to confession and get over it. Like there's some things you just can't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Divorce, big one, dude. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like you can't. and I'm speaking as a kid of divorce, but I'm just saying, like, there are certain things that if you go and say to a Catholic priest, you know, my spouse is beating me or whatever, and I'm thinking about getting a divorce, they're going to go, you should get some counseling. Because you said till death do us part.
Right.
So what I'm saying is from that kind of, if you want to take the Jedi as like a religious kind of, like they're that committed, right, to this ideology, if you do end up betraying them, Obi-Wan's like, all right, you're done, dude.
Yeah.
So I would see, now it's different from the Luke Anakin perspective because that's father-son.
Yeah.
And he's really trying to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
because if he gave up on him too after he said, you know, I am your father, whatever it is, he would have given up.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's trying to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a very. I think it's a way more beautiful story. But I think it makes sense. I didn't even watch the series, and I feel like I would understand that Obi-Wan would not be there trying to convert him back.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess like it just goes to my whole wish of this show being a little deeper.
Sure.
In terms of like exploring his conflict, because they start off with Obi-Wan being kind of depressed. I don't know. I just feel like Obi-Wan was his brother at the end of the day, pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So
But
I
he
feel
wasn't. He wasn't. He was his mentor. There's a big fucking difference.
Yeah, but he says
You were my brother.
I get it. But what are you going to say to someone who's younger? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is someone, you have to speak to their, it's a leadership thing.
Right.
You know? And I feel like part of it, too, might have been the fact that, like, it's not to go on and on, but it's a weird, it's definitely, it's kind of a film student kind of answer for you to be like, I wish the plot line of Star Wars was deeper. Like, it's fucking Star Wars, bro. You know what I mean? Like, just have fun, watch a show, move the fuck on.
I know, but
like,
if you're going to make this story and deal with those
all I'm saying is, if
themes.
you're going to go that route, there's got to be a little bit of, I'm going to try, I'll say this in my way, and if you want me to bleep it in the edit, I will, but it's a little bit of a dick measuring contest between the two of them, because it's like, I'm your mentor.
Yeah.
I trained you this shit. I'm still bigger and better.
Right.
So I can still defeat you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
Yeah.
got to be a little bit of, like, punishment there of, like, kids, sit down.
Yeah.
From Obi-Wan to Anakin. And if he's going to be, like, I just don't see him trying to, like, do this. It would be kind of a, I don't want to say a pussy move, but it would be kind of like a bullshit move for him to be like, just come back to the light. He spent his whole fucking life training this kid.
Yeah.
And if after everything that Anakin has been through and seen under Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and all the other shit, right?
Yeah.
If that's gonna you're still gonna go to the dark side, you're wasting my fucking time. See you around. You know?
Yeah. Matt, what do you think?
You know, it's a lot.
Get deep.
Well, would you just like off this question, like, would you have preferred to see Obi-Wan try to bring him back? Let me make that effort.
I wouldn't have been opposed to it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been opposed to it. Like, if they wanted to go that direction, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
Personally, I think the best part of the show was all the Obi-Wan Vader stuff.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
So, like, I don't necessarily, like, need it. I didn't need it. But, like, if they were to go that route, that would have been fine. Because I think it was the only good part of the show, to be honest.
But don't you
was
think
Vader.
so? With that, but what I'm trying to say is, like, if the show was more focused on their relationship, I think it would have been better.
I agree.
I mean,
think-
if you just cut out all the Revs, is that her name, Rev?
Yeah,
I mean,
Reva, yeah.
she stunk.
No, see, I actually don't. I didn't
really
mind
feel?
the Reva character until the last episode. I think that she was too heavily leaned on. I think the same goes for Leia.
Yeah.
I think Leia and Reva were too heavily.
They just need to kill time to fill episodes.
Right, but I feel like
To get to certain
they
points.
didn't do enough.
The time
so I
could
feel
have
like
been
it filled better.
The time
Yeah.
could have been used
Oh, yeah,
to go much deeper, you know, to explore Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationships, explore their
That's a good shot right
past,
there.
and
You get Leia in a vent.
on the
Right.
you know,
What's the guy from Eternals? Friggin', what's that about?
To me, if Reva had died in the last episode, if Vader had just killed her like he should have, you know,
Right.
I think that's another issue. Is him and the Grand Inquisitor should never have left her.
also
alive.
what is it with the people getting stabbed through the chest?
Thank you.
Her especially.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then you're good.
She's got like a bandage on and a
Yeah.
hood.
That's too. She gets stabbed. She gets stabbed in the fucking chest, and then 20 minutes later, she's on Tatooine running
Yeah.
around.
I know.
Like to me,
I've had
like,
enough.
every time they cut away from this fight to go to Reva fighting,
It took away from
Owen
the
and
fight,
It's like,
in my opinion.
I don't give a shit. Luke is alive, and we know Luke
We know-
survives. We know
there's no
Owen
tension.
and
If
Beru.
we know what's
Right.
gonna happen, at
alive.
least make it cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's
It
what I'm
wasn't. It was
saying.
stupid.
She should have died in the last episode, and this whole episode should have been focusing on.
I honestly
Vader and
don't
Obi-Wan.
even think her character. I don't think we needed her as a major character. Like, I mean, I understand.
Vader's the villain.
You need to have things that move the plot along, but I feel like you said, Vader. This show should focus solely on the two characters that we know and love, that we've grown up with.
Right.
Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I feel that they definitely didn't explore nearly enough of that.
That's sad. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have explored that more. I'm saying the relationship specifically.
Yes.
Because that father-son thing between Luke and Anakin is super important because they're actually blood. And then the other one is more of like a teacher-student kind of relationship. And in Ewan in episode 1 and 2 and what, that guy's like 12 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to take him on. You know, it's a reluctant.
I'm sure
role,
it is, but there's still got to be a little bit of like, yo, sit down. Like, what
Right.
are you doing? I just feel like it's more of like that kind of feeling.
The Clone Wars did a really great job of fleshing out,
making them more friends,
and brothers than what you saw solely in the movies.
Brauninger doesn't know this about me. I'm just like a first six. That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But I think in the last episode before this, when they do the flashback with Anakin and Obi-Wan, you get a little bit of that.
Oh,
where, like
absolutely.
Obi-Wan puts him in his place, and it's like you're too aggressive.
Your
too
need for victory or whatever.
Yeah, it like blinds you or whatever.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it kind of feels like Obi-Wan being like, "I'm still gonna best you."
Right.
You know?
I love
so
that.
long as
I
you're like
love
that.
that.
Yeah,
I think
that
we-
was a good scene.
I think we could have had a lot more of those moments in the past.
Right. I think the flashbacks in this case wouldn't have hurt this show. I think
Not
it would
at
have
all.
enhanced what happens, in the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just more touching moments that make what we see. Not to say that I didn't think the final scene or the fight, I thought it was awesome, but I think it would have made it hit even harder if we had had more flashbacks like that in the 6 episode span.
To me, like, I love the dialogue between Obi-Wan and Vader, but to me, like, loving Revenge of the Sith and stuff, it, like, I think you said it too in the moment, it didn't hit as hard as it should have.
The moments, some of the moments that were supposed to be like, really cool moments didn't really hit like they should have. Like when he said hello there.
Yeah, that was more of a gag.
And I feel like, honestly, for me, like the biggest, like, kind of that, and like Qui-Gon.
Well, let's talk about Palpatine first, since we got the
that
image
one was a
up.
little better.
Yeah, don't worry. Qui-Gon's next.
Yeah.
All right.
Palpatine, though, I mean, it was great. I was kind of
Spoilers.
figuring he would come in.
Is he played by the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. I mean, he was great. I was glad we saw him. Ian McDermott.
You met him.
He doesn't. I did.
You met him?
Yeah.
Oh,
him
yeah.
And Hayden.
And Hayden.
I got a picture.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Hayden. Maybe Hayden 20 years ago, but Hayden.
Yeah.
65-year-old disgusting fuck. But this guy's sick.
He's a legend.
He's the best.
Ian.
And it was great seeing it again, and I love the dialogue they have too.
Yep.
And it kind of transitions into A New Hope, and where Vader kind of gives up on Obi-Wan. He kind of leaves that behind in that conflict here, because Palpatine kind of says, puts him in his place.
I think the line that Palpatine said kind of confirms the fact that Vader/Anakin, the conflict was certainly there.
Yeah, he saw that.
That's like the confirmation.
Did you hear they didn't need a makeup artist for him for this series?
No, probably not.
Now that he's 1,001 years old.
Yeah.
They just said,
He's up there.
there you go.
Well, I mean, you were happy to see. You know what? If Palpatine wasn't in The Rise of Skywalker, this would have been a much better moment.
I think, no, honestly, for real.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like these other films. There's too
Yeah.
many of them.
All right, can I just...
Go, do it.
Can we just... They should have stopped after fucking the prequels.
Thank you. Oh my God.
I mean, really. I mean, just oversaturation. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? How much fucking Star Wars do we fucking need? Dude, it's fucking ridiculous.
Careful, Matt. You're getting a little force sensitive there.
Every fucking character has a fucking show. There's how many movies?
I literally said this last
I can't keep up. I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
I will say that I think whether George sold Star Wars, if he had kept Star Wars, I think he would have made 7, 8, and 9 inevitably. He had the outlines for the story. Like, that would have happened.
Right.
I would have been much more satisfied with George's story than what Disney wanted to do. But
I guess I'm just big on the Costanza. Leave on a high note.
right.
That's it. You know
but
what I mean?
some would argue that the prequels weren't a high note.
but they answered questions. The prequels
I
were
guess,
not the
yeah.
if the prequels were the original and then they came out with 4, 5, 6, people would have been like, where the fuck have you been?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The prequels were made to answer questions about 4, 5, and 6.
Right. And to make some money.
Yeah,
George
I don't.
loves his merchandise.
He does love his merch.
That's why
But
I'm
what
saying I think it was
is
inevitable
originally,
we would get
A New Hope was just called Star Wars.
Right.
It was not Episode 4,
Yeah.
A New Hope.
Yeah.
So, like, if that one shit the bed, there'd be none of this conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like
This is
Disney
true.
beats the piss out of
I
every
agree with
topic
you, yeah.
they buy.
Marvel.
Yeah. I'm just
know?
saying if I think we would have gotten another trilogy either way.
Now, that said, I'm not shitting on people who like Clone Wars or anything else. And
But Clone Wars
you know what
was
I mean?
George at least.
Right,
you know?
sure. And again, like there are people who have like every comic book, every novel,
Yeah.
everything Star Wars, and it's like there's no conflicting anything anywhere in there that just boggles your mind to the point of being like this is too confusing to follow.
Yeah.
It just gets to be too much. I like these we were talking about trilogies last week, and it's like you have a character like a Jack Sparrow or a Luke Skywalker or an Anakin,
Yep.
and you follow that character, and then they die or whatever, and there's an end, and you go, and they all lived happily ever after, or they're all dead or whatever. There's an end.
Yeah.
You know, and this is just like we're grasping at straws. I feel a little bit. Everybody's force sensitive. Everybody gets
Yeah.
a trophy.
Definitely.
But I feel like we would all feel differently
Baby
if,
Yoda, for
if
God's
the
sake.
writing was better.
Well, that's
You
the
know?
thing. If you're gonna do something like a sequel like
Do
that,
it right.
you better fucking make
Right.
sure
Feels-
it's money.
Do it.
It
Pull a Top
feels-
Gun. Wait 40 fucking
Yeah.
years and then
It
make it.
feels
Yeah.
to me like Disney just pumps out content way too fast
Yeah.
with very little thought as to how it
Yeah.
ties in.
Look at the Rise of
And-
Skywalker. What can we do to put asses in seats? Palpatine's back.
Yeah.
And,
You know?
Oh, yeah.
and
it
then
was
they
such-
ruin this moment.
And then
Yeah.
there's the Oscar Isaac line, right?
somehow Palpatine
somehow Palpatine. Is that all we got?
That's all they explain.
That's all we got.
Well, it explains
It's
in a
like-
book that you got to buy after.
It's such
Like,
know
what I'm
are you
saying?
kidding?
It's
Like, if you're gonna
Yeah.
put that on the big screen,
Yeah.
you're not. Why is it a book that we
right,
have to
that
read?
we have to read to
Such a
find
figure
out
out
how
why
he's
he's back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such a cheap moment, dude. It's like losing your virginity to a prostitute. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't count.
Wow.
You
Like,
know, that's a fucking amazing analogy. I'm
Thank
not
you.
kidding.
Uh-huh.
That was really. that hit me like a ton of bricks. That's
Yeah.
great.
Is that
It doesn't count. It's
off
not
the
earned.
top of the dome?
yeah,
pretty
I'm
good.
always got. Yeah, I'm always.
Wow.
You know,
That's a good one.
I guess you could say you're chock full.
I'm always feeling
Yeah.
spicy. You know.
Damn.
Yeah. So it doesn't count. So.
Honestly, I have my own version of the canon. I'm
Oh, me
selective.
too.
Oh yeah.
I'm
I don't
selective.
think
for me, it ended after. For me, it's over on Endor.
Yeah.
whatever I like, I add to my canon.
I
Whatever
include
don't
the Mando.
like.
I'll include Mando.
Yeah,
I like
Mando.
Mando.
Mando could make it.
Would you include this?
I would include.
You know what I would?
I would include.
I think
this.
I would.
So it is decent. You're saying?
Yes.
I would say
I liked more of it than I didn't like.
I would agree. It's like overall as a series, it's underwhelming. But you get moments. You get
I
moments.
agree with that.
Nothing
scattered,
happened
bits
in here
and
that was
pieces
irrelevant.
throughout.
We'll let Brauninger speak.
I don't think I don't think there's anything that destroys the characters, and I think there's definitely stuff that adds to the characters that we know, bits and pieces throughout the series that adds to what we perceive.
But But I guess what I'm asking you, because I haven't seen it,
Yeah.
is it's not an oversaturation though, right? Because like there has to be there's some. Dude, when I left the theater after watching Revenge of the Sith, I could have sworn I was force sensitive. You could have paid me money to tell me I'm not. I would have been like, no, I got it. I got the force. Like that was the coolest thing ever. There has to be some room for interpretation, is what I'm saying. Like there's got to be some room to be like, what do you think Obi-Wan's doing right now as a fucking force ghost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floating around, you know? So it's like, I just feel when we get too much info, when they beat the crap out of these topics, it's
yeah,
like, all right.
I
this-
think.
Yeah, go.
Oh, well, I think this was it was a short piece of story. It was condensed over the span of probably like a couple of days, like a week at most,
Yeah.
probably. So
This whole series?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it's
very
1 week?
it's a very short timeline, and
I
I
thought
think
it was supposed to be the story between episode
No.
3 and 4.
No.
so. This was just a very very brief encounter.
Interesting.
And so it's not like you learn everything about what happened. I think what this story does is it gives you the moment between Vader and Obi-Wan, in between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope, and it also goes to show you how Obi-Wan gets himself ready to, or It's like the beginning of him getting to the point where he's ready to start becoming one with the Force.
Yeah. And become Ben.
To become
Yeah.
Ben, exactly.
Well, I mean,
It's such a hippie thing, isn't it? That's
yeah,
so
it
hippy
really
dippy.
is. Yeah,
So
The
hippy
yeah.
dippy. You know, if it was real life, it's just a guy who gets really old, and then he's like, "Yeah, just call me Ben. Mr. Kenobi was my dad. He's smoking weed and everything."
Yeah.
It's dope.
But I do think like connected to that is like when Revenge of the Sith ends, there's no indication that Obi-Wan knows that Vader lived, and then we get to A New Hope, and he knows that he is Vader. He knows he says he's more machine man now than man. So in that case, I feel like this story brought some clarity to Obi-Wan understanding that now, calling him Darth, and understanding he's too far gone.
Right.
Look at this beautiful man here, Liam Neeson. Come on.
God, he looks like dog shit.
I think he looks all right.
Dude, I know he doesn't look bad, but I'm saying Liam Neeson, like Qui-Gon looks dope, but I'm saying like look at him, just that specific image of him standing there. He's a Force ghost. Just be floating around, like, you know what I mean.
Phantom Menace was 2001.
Looks like his back hurts. He's 75 years
1999.
old. He's done. Phantom Menace was 99.
Yeah, and like he doesn't look that bad.
His graphics in Phantom Menace, they were top.
Yeah,
notch.
yeah.
Really something.
Now, for me, I think, Matt, you'll agree with this. They built up the Qui-Gon moment forever, and I feel like they could have had him come in at a more impactful moment. I think it would have been perfect for him to come in before Obi-Wan face Vader and talk with him and be like, I have to do this.
Or
because
maybe
Qui-Gon is the whole reason Anakin was brought into the
this.
Jedi Order. So you would think that there would be a consultation between Obi-Wan and him before.
Like, what do I
maybe-
do? Where do I go?
Yeah,
with this
right.
Maybe
yeah,
while
I think that would have been great.
While he's buried under the rocks.
Yeah, that was another moment could have
Qui-Gon,
done
you know,
it.
he's having those flashbacks, and then Qui-Gon comes to him
Yeah.
and gives him the strength he needs.
But instead, you got him standing out in the middle of a desert.
at the end of the
That's what I'm
thing.
saying. Like,
And
come on.
it had no like.
it's like a cheap throwaway.
It was just like, oh, here I am now. When I really needed you, you weren't here.
I needed more out of that scene.
Yeah.
They built it up so much, and they just kind of threw it in at the end.
Yeah, I agree
So
with
like
that.
3 words.
I mean, it was nice to see him, but I think it could have been. They were building
It
up for
didn't
a
hit.
more impactful moment.
It didn't hit
Yeah.
like it should have.
No,
It's
I
like
agree.
fucking Game of Thrones. Like, yeah, the moment's cool, but like how you get there matters.
Yes, exactly.
So
Can I be honest? I
Yeah.
feel like, and this is a Disney thing. This is like more behind the scenes versus the canon and all the other stuff. Guaranteed. This is a scheduling. We have what's Liam for a day.
Oh yeah,
And what do we do with Liam? And by the way, there's some money involved, so it's Liam
Yeah.
Neeson. What are we gonna do? They toss him on a green screen. We'll put him in the middle of the desert, and just have him meet him in the field. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
Guaranteed.
he lied in an interview. He said I would never do a TV series, and then obviously he came in here, and then he came out with a quote the other day. He said the only reason I accepted the role is because I don't want anyone else playing Qui-Gon, and I respect what George Lucas made.
Fuck that. It's because Disney would
Yeah.
say you don't want
And
it.
it's the
We'll
money,
bring in
yeah.
another old guy with long
Yeah,
hair.
yeah.
No problem.
Right.
That's what it is. And then that you pull on those ego
Yeah,
strings.
yeah.
But I guarantee you that's why. Because if you got to do something specific, you got to schedule these people a certain
Right.
way. And if there's any sort of pushback, fuck it. We'll put you in one scene in the middle of the desert. That's it.
That's
shoot
it.
for a day
Yeah.
and you're gone.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. That's what
He
it is.
probably
And it's
didn't want to commit to an entire
But
series.
if Disney wasn't more if Disney was more concerned about what the viewers wanted versus pumping out content like Matt said earlier, like
You would think
it would be more impactful.
if you
Yeah.
cared about the story more, he would have been involved more.
It's just
Yeah.
one of the issues with Disney at that point.
Yeah.
right, exactly my point.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get past that.
I guess the natural question now is obviously this was a huge hit, like, viewership wise.
Oh,
It was
sure.
like the biggest premiere, I believe, in Disney Plus and stuff. It's natural that obviously, even though they said this is going to be a limited series, that a season 2 might happen. Mm-hmm. Matt, I already know you're going to say no.
just let it die.
Yeah, I personally don't see. To me, this was the story to tell.
What
in
else is
between.
there to
I don't
tell?
need. There's nothing
I
else.
mean, with this,
to
it wasn't
tell.
even. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't do it exactly how I think they should.
I mean, dude. I mean, just let it die. Just let it be, dude. Like when I'm old, I don't. Just no. It's it. It's over. It's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Move on. Just
Yeah.
do something else.
I would agree. I don't think we needed this. It's I would say overall it's a good thing that it happened. It could have been done better.
Yeah.
But I don't think now that we've had our Obi-Wan versus Vader encounter, let it be. We don't
Right.
We don't need to see
and I don't
anything
think they would
else.
ever make them fight again.
Because that just
But-
it takes value away.
Yeah,
from-
no, 100%.
What else would they do?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like have him and Qui-Gon jerking off in the desert this season.
Actually,
like, I don't
maybe,
know. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. But like, what else are you gonna do? Obi-Wan fighting Tusken Raiders. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, the
this
Tusken
this
Raiders.
this
That
was
was
the
Boba Fett.
story. This
Boba
is
Fett.
this is what happened in between, and it's like I don't think anything because
There's
we
nothing
were
to
talking about
see.
this, and I meant to chime in when you were talking about the fight, how powerful Obi-Wan was.
Uh-huh.
In 9 years from now, this guy's like crippled. You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like we saw
Malnourished.
Obi-Wan at his height, and I'm like,
peak.
we can't have him too powerful before A New Hope.
Because it just won't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, how
So-
did this man just break down?
To me, this
Those
series,
Tusken Raiders, they just don't give you a break.
I know. the
to
stress.
me, to me, this series would have been better as a movie. It felt like an elongated movie to me.
Yeah,
And it came out yesterday. The writer who was attached to write a movie. This was like before Solo came out, and he said that it was gonna be a trilogy of movies, and that because Solo lost money, they axed it.
I just don't get it. I don't get
yeah.
how you have these main characters, but you want to tell the plots of the characters that don't matter.
Right.
Like, not that Solo doesn't matter, but,
But it
it's
was-
talk about oversaturation.
Right. Yeah.
You didn't want to tell this story before Solo?
And
Are you
it's
out
not
of your
even
fucking
Harrison
mind?
Ford. It's just
Right.
that to me is Kathleen Kennedy's ignorance of being Han Solo. You know what I'm saying? And it lost money for a lot of reasons, but to me, you can't backtrack on your. Like, to me, that's a terrible business decision. It's like you're going to go forward with these spin-offs. Rogue One made $1 billion.
Yeah,
First
but,
one
like,
worked.
Okay, but Carrie Fisher came back from Rogue One and all that.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
but you know what I'm saying. But then with the second one, just because the second one fails because you had directors switch and writers fired, just because you made a whole mess out of it,
Okay, you put up the money for the next one then. Because that's what the executives will say to you.
I guess. But
And that's all they give a fuck about is the numbers. These are not,
Yeah.
dude, these
No,
are
no, no,
not
no.
passionate Star Wars people.
Oh, I
RJ.
totally agree,
These are
yeah.
accountants that look at spreadsheets and go, Baby Yoda's not doing well. Let's put somebody in there
Yeah.
instead.
right. No,
kind
I
of-
agree.
It's a shame.
The only reason they made Yoda a puppet for some of those scenes or whatever it is when they first set up is because people like the original puppet.
Yeah.
Because the original fans like the puppet in A New Hope.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the whole thing would have been CG.
Yeah.
They do these things to placate to this audience of people who really do give a shit about these characters and care about, like, the storyline and all this other stuff. And they just totally, like, exploit your interests and,
Yeah.
and whatever you think is a good thing. It's a total it's bullshit. I fucking hate that. It's
Yeah.
really annoying to me.
I like the puppet.
Matt, would you have
The
preferred?
puppet's dope.
I like the puppet.
Original Jabba, there were like 9 people making
yeah.
that guy
I'm
move.
pro puppet.
I agree. And practical, man.
Yeah.
Matt, would you have preferred a movie over a show? Having seen the show now,
Yeah, I guess.
A trilogy?
a trilogy.
that's
I don't
too
know
much.
how they
Too
would do
much.
that.
So I think
so
I think a movie. Yeah.
In one sentence, give me this storyline. Give me the tagline for the season. What does it tell the story of? It's a week in the life of Kenobi and
No, it's like
Skywalker?
Obi-Wan. I don't know. Obi-Wan.
give me the tagline. You just watched the whole series. What's it about?
Obi-Wan confronts his past by fighting Vader.
Yeah, you know, like his like trauma, but they didn't
Yeah.
go into it deep enough. You know, they didn't earn that.
I feel like they, based on what you guys are saying,
Yeah.
they went deep on some characters that didn't necessarily matter.
Right.
So like,
Yes.
why not just?
Yeah.
It could be cool to see like if they had done like in this one season, right? How many episodes? 6 episodes.
Six, yeah.
If they had done like 1 and 2, tied up whatever they did in this season in
Yeah.
episodes 1 and 2, 3 and 4, you see a little bit more of a progression. Like they skip years between
Yeah, yeah,
episodes
yeah.
2 and 3. So episodes 1 and 2, episodes 3 and 4, 5 and 6, and then after episode 6, you go right into episode 4. That
right.
would be
More
dope.
of a bridge gap.
That would be
That'd be
dope.
cool.
Yeah. The article I read from the writer who got, I don't know if he got fired or he got taken off.
Sure.
Before, when he was writing the movie, his plan was that this season would have been the first movie, and that the second movie would have been Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon training together, and that his
What are you gonna
story.
do? You have
Well, but his
75-year-old
story-
people.
well, I really like this story point though that he brought up, and he said that he was going to have it be that Qui-Gon tells Obi-Wan that there's going to be a day when you are going to have to die. You won't know when that day's coming, but there's going to be a moment when you're going to have to let let go. And then I feel like that would have been a great story thing that would add to that moment in A New Hope.
And it would have added to the Anakin and
Well, they
Obi-Wan
should just done that in the show.
mentorship thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
But like when he looks, like it would add so much to him seeing Leia and Luke together.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I did it. Like they're together again.
I just got the chills with you saying that right
You know
now.
what
I
I'm
haven't
saying?
seen the series at all. But that's so important, bro.
And then in that moment, he's like, this is
Over
it.
it.
This is where I'm done. You know?
Fucking Disney.
Like, how do you fire a writer like that who has an idea like that brings, you know?
Kid with the writing degree. How do you fire a writer?
I don't
Listen
know.
to him.
I don't know. I just hate
I get
reading stuff after the fact of these people that were working on it before, and it's way better than what we got.
Okay, but everybody's a fucking Monday morning quarterback, though. Let's be honest.
That is true.
Oh, I was going to do this, but you
Revisionist,
didn't, so.
revisionist history
easy
is
to look
always
back.
easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know what really else to say. You know, I think, what would you rate this out of 10? I'd give it like
look at the wheels turning in
I'd give it
Veronica's
I'd give it a 7.8 out of 10.
I would give it I'd give it a 7.
Okay. Wow,
Yeah.
lower than me.
Are we talking like in terms of all TV shows ever?
I don't.
6-1.
Okay.
In terms of Star Wars stuff.
Oh, okay. In terms of Star Wars stuff,
Yeah.
In terms of the Star Wars series,
I was yeah.
6-6.
I was thinking more
6?
Star Wars specific. I would say like a 7.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm very grateful
It happened.
for
It
some,
happened, and it went.
I'm grateful
6
for
weeks.
I'm
Yeah.
very grateful for some of the moments, but there was a lot that could have gone better.
Can
Yeah.
I change my answer?
Sure.
I'm gonna go 2.5 stars.
So
Out
so
of 5.
5 out of 10.
I like stars better. I use
Yeah,
my
I'm gonna go
letterbox,
stars.
and I always
2.5
use
stars.
on there.
So it's a 5 out of 10.
Actually, no, I'm keeping the numbers.
So it's
Yeah.
a 6.
6.1.
6.1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that does it for Obi-Wan. It came and it went.
Indeed,
So-
it did.
And here we are. We'll get ready for the next one, Cassian Andor in August. Hopefully that's better. You know,
That's another
trailer looks
unnecessary
good.
one in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I'll watch it. I'll
Who the
still
fuck
watch
is
it.
Cassian?
from Rogue One. The
No one cares, RJ. No one cares
you
about
asked me. I
Rogue
had to
One.
answer.
Nobody.
I
A
like
total of 0 people care about
I
Rogue
think
One.
there's a lot of people who like Rogue One.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, I enjoy Rogue One.
Yeah, enjoy. Yeah, that's great. I enjoy Goodfellas. I don't think it should be. It's a series about Goodfellas. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with our Stranger Things review, the first half of this new season, coming at you.